Remember, there are three kinds of verbs. The two main verbs are action or linking. You must have one of these in every independent clause, but you will only have either action or linking. You will never find both in the same clause. There are also helping verbs, and we'll talk about those in the next video. They will never be alone, and there may be more than one of them in a clause. I just like the way that this is diagrammed. So we've talked about action verbs. We'll talk about this section later. Now we're talking about linking verbs. Remember, you will not find an action verb and a linking verb in the same clause. Remember that these dotted lines are just indicating that helping verbs can be with either linking verbs or action verbs, but they can never be alone. So you would have a helping verb, linking verb, helping verb, action verb, never alone, never together, linking verbs and action verbs. So, linking verbs. They are verbs that connect or link the subject to a word at or near the end of the sentence, what we call the complement. So I'll show you what that means. Here are some examples. Sarah is a runner. Is just linking Sarah to runner. Runner would be the complement. The winner was arrogant. Winner is the subject. Was is the linking verb. Arrogant is describing the winner. That's what we call predicate adjective, which we'll talk about later. This house, subject, seems, linking verb, small, predicate adjective. The pie, subject, tastes, linking verb, sour, predicate adjective. In English, the most common linking verbs are some form of the verb to be. Other verbs that can be linking verbs or action verbs, depending on how they are used in the sentence, are listed here. And these can be confusing, so I'm actually going to give you some examples on the next slide. To determine if a verb is functioning as a linking verb or an action verb, substitute a form of the verb to be. Another option is to substitute an equal sign. If the sentence still makes sense and the meaning doesn't change, the verb is functioning as a linking verb. The pie smells good. The pie is good. The substitution works, linking verb. Joseph smelled the pie. Joseph is the pie. Substitution doesn't work, action verb. This is a slide just giving you some examples using the same verb but either as a linking or as an action. And I've indicated based on the color which one they are acting as. So here are some examples. She appeared in the door. I was looking at the door, she wasn't there, then she appeared in the door. That is an action. She appears tired. She is tired. In that case, it's working as a linking. The nurse feels the baby's forehead. We actually see her feel it. The baby feels hot. The baby is hot. In that case, it's working as a linking. The dog looks out the window. We actually see him looking out the window. The dog looks bored. The dog is bored. She sounded the alarm. She sounds annoyed. She is annoyed. She tasted the pie. The pie tastes delicious. The pie is delicious. Those are all examples of words that can be used as action or linking verbs. Hopefully it helps. Just a final reminder, to determine if a verb is functioning as a linking verb or an action verb, substitute a form of the verb to be. Another option is to substitute an equal sign. If the sentence still makes sense and the meaning doesn't change, the verb is functioning as a linking verb. I stayed angry with my sister for a whole week. I was angry with my sister for a whole week. It still works. That makes sense. Rosa stayed with her aunt in Mexico last summer. Rosa was with her aunt in Mexico last summer. It makes sense. And then a final note. Sometimes be verbs do not have a link. These are called state of being verbs. So, in these examples, your shoes are in the corner of the closet. In the corner of the closet, two prepositional phrases. So there really isn't a word that's being linked to shoes. Instead, it's just telling us the state of being. There is a lot of noise in the stadium. Again, in this case, and this is something hopefully you remember, there is never going to be the subject, and so a lot is actually the subject in this case, and so there is no predicate adjective or predicate noun, which we'll be talking about soon. So just a last note, because we will be talking about predicate nominatives or predicate nouns and predicate adjectives pretty soon. The linking verb will connect the subject at the beginning of the sentence with a word that either renames or describes the subject, the complement. More to come on complements soon. If the word renames the subject, the complement is called a predicate nominative. If the word describes the subject, the complement is called a predicate adjective. These two are the kinds of complements that appear with linking verbs only. Again, more to come on that later.